Shelly Palmer is a professor of advanced media at Syracuse University's Cy Newhouse School of Public Communications and joins me now live in New York. Thanks so much for joining us, Shelly. So the bill essentially says that TikTok must be sold now within 6 months to a buyer that satisfies the U.S. government. The sale would then have to guarantee that ByteDance, the parent company, no longer has control over TikTok or its algorithms that recommend content to its users. If ByteDance then refuses or can't sell TikTok, then it can be banned from app stores in the U.S. You say this, quote, "It's hard to take this legislation seriously, and you view it as fear-mongering." How so?
Yeah. So if you're really concerned about Chinese manipulation and weaponizing information, then you have to look at data hygiene and data governance and data privacy across the entirety of the United States. Facebook, X, which formerly Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, choose your social network, doesn't matter. These networks are used dramatically by every bad actor in the world to sow seeds of division. They do so by taking behavioral data that's easily available for purchase by any number of data brokers, and they do what the bad actors do what they do with it, and they amplify virally using bots. To say that China needs TikTok to spy on Americans is technological nonsense. Now, they may be spying on us using TikTok, and they may be manipulating people's points of view with TikTok, but they're doing so on every social network. And, to say that, like, okay, let's go, let's make TikTok not a thing. Yeah, what's that really going to change? So China will still have access to TikTok's feed when it's American owned. They will still use American companies and American pseudonyms and bots to sow.
Shelley,
Nothing's going to change.
Shelly, who would actually own the algorithm, though? Because I think that's what's at issue here, is that you have a state-based actor, which would be China, that ultimately now many believe has control of ByteDance's, of the algorithm itself.
As if the algorithm is the culprit, and it isn't. The algorithm's job is to put the right message in front of the right person at the right place at the right time. So too is every social media algorithm. By the way, so too is the Amazon recommendation engine. So too is the Netflix recommendation engine. These all work the same way. So to say who has control of the algorithm, the mathematicians have control of the algorithm, and it's there to do one thing: surface advertising that TikTok gets paid on so it can be in business. That's how it works. So who's in control of the algorithm is the owner of the company. But the job of the algorithm is just to surface the right content. Now you'll say, well, what about the bad content? The only way you get bad content is if you're interested in it. It doesn't surface content you're not interested in. It gives you more of what you already like. That's how it keeps you engaged. TikTok is one of the most addictive algorithms in the world. It should be outlawed for a lot of reasons. I'm not saying that TikTok is good. I'm not even saying that China's good. I'm simply saying that if you believe this is a problem, then let's go solve the problem. And this is not in any way going to solve the problem. It's not even close to solving the problem. We have bot traffic that's just devastatingly more effective than this.
So why then do you think we've seen over the past few years increased concern that from everyone from the director of the FBI to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence just this week issuing reports saying, quote, the TikTok accounts run by the PRC, People's Republic of China, propaganda arm, reportedly targeted candidates from both political parties during the U.S. midterm election cycle in 2022, and they can't guarantee
100%.
that won't be the case in 24.
100%, except it's happening on every social platform. It's not just happening on TikTok. And to single out TikTok and say that that's going to solve this problem, if you believe that China is the problem, that bad actors, Russia and China, whoever you want to identify, are manipulating our news feeds everywhere, then you have to go solve that problem. This does not solve that problem. So it doesn't even get close to solving that problem, because no matter who owns TikTok, you're still going to use the same kind of tools, the same kind of exploitation of the algorithm, any algorithm, to get the right message in front of the right person at the right time at the right place. For the number one metric that there is, which is engagement. They're trying to get you to stay engaged. So I applaud this idea that we may have a national security problem. We do. We don't maybe have it. Information's been weaponized by foreign bad actors for years. This doesn't solve that. That's my problem with it. It's like, this is just me. This is politicians saying, be afraid of China. Look, we solved the problem. They didn't solve the problem. They identified it. They definitely identified it. Is TikTok, guilty here? I promise you that there is definitely manipulative information on TikTok, but I also promise you there's manipulative information on every single social network and every news feed in the United States. And in order to solve for that, you need to solve that problem, which is a data problem. It's not a TikTok, who owns TikTok problem. It just isn't.
Shelly Palmer, I wish we could have had more time to talk about this. We have to leave it there. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.